Hey folks, Tanner Cherney here with Devil's Lake Tourism. Hard to believe it's actually officially hunting season now. The early Canada goose season kicked off here earlier this week on the 15th, and crazy thing is there's wheat fields and barley fields coming down, so it's definitely that time of the year. You know, we were on the water this last week giving you a quick update on the troll and bite, and we're kind of in that time of year with the dog days of summer that not a lot has changed week by week here. The only thing that's really changing besides, pulling lead core with crankbaits or bottom bouncers or spinners or smile blades is the fact that these fish slide around. Whether it's a cold front comes in, we had the temperature last week drop down that one day. It was like 60 degrees for a high, and I want to say our water temp dropped like 6 degrees over 24 hours. So, some days those fish are out in 20, 25 feet of water, and next day you might not find them out there, and just bump yourself into 10 to 15, and you'll be surprised to see that those fish didn't go too far, but they're just moving that contour line in, just depending on pressure systems. This time of year, like we've been talking about for the last month or so, find that old lake shoreline. Depending on where you are in the lake, it's going to be around that 20 to 25 foot of water. Depending, like I said, if you're on the east end of the lake or the west end of the lake. Good lake map, good lake chip, you'll be able to find that really easily. The other thing is going on Google Earth, like we've showed in the past, looking at the historical imagery from about the year 1990. Great way to do your homework and do a little scouting before you get on the water. But basic thing is right now, gulp is working great. Live bait still does really well, especially after some of the fronts that move through. But if you're coming up to Devil's Lake in the next couple of weeks here before Labor Day, everyone's starting to get ready for school. So there's still a few last days of official summer to get those last minute trips in. But biggest thing is find that old lake shoreline, trolling bottom bouncers and smile blades or spinners at about 1 to 1.2 mile an hour. And like we did last week, we worked a couple 3 spots till we got some bites. Had a couple smaller fish, worked it till we got a couple more eater-sized fish, and marked those spots and just worked it back and forth the rest of the evening and pulled out a pretty nice limit of fish. So biggest thing is you find your fish, start working that area, narrowing it down, and the biggest thing is have a variety of colors. I like to, a really good tip is find yourself one of those inexpensive pool noodles, whether you get it at the dollar store, wherever. Cut them up into about a foot long length, and you can just wrap all of your pre-tied spinners, smile blades on there, and it's an easy way to store it and a great way to fin through and find all the colors that you're looking for. Again, word of the wise, use a variety of colors if you got multiple people in the boat and start narrowing that down. We are a little over a month away from waterfall season kicking off, so definitely time to start planning those trips. And as we talked about 2 weeks ago, even though we're the middle of August, ice season will be knocking on the door here sooner than later. So definitely time to start thinking about those dates, and if you got specific guides you want to book, definitely not too early to start thinking that. I know there's some people watching this probably gonna be like, shut up, Tanner, you do not need to be talking about ice fishing, but unfortunately that will be here sooner than later. But we do have a great fall bite coming up here. Got waterfall season, ice season. It's a great time to be an outdoorsman or outdoorswoman in the Dakotas, especially up here in Devil's Lake. And as we get closer to the waterfall season kicking off, we're gonna kind of transition it to a fishing report / migration report. So we kind of got a tale of 2 stories coming up here as we get closer to September. But for now, walleye bait remains strong. Again, like we always say, use hashtag Devil's Lake ND on any of your adventures out here, and we'll see you next week.